I have a really cool movie idea. Just hear me. There is a Cold War going on between the organization of Mars and the organization that runs augmented reality. The leaders of both organizations used to work together in the past, and now they hate each other and oppose each other anytime they get the chance. So yes, that was the basic plot of the movie. But I still have to figure out how the story ends. Well, if you figure it out, do let me know by commenting down below. So, what do you think is a cool story, right? Well, thank you. Now, what if I tell you this is not just a story, but a reality that we are living in? I know there is no Mars organization, but there is certainly someone who is trying to colonize Mars, and then there is certainly someone who is working on augmented reality. If you still haven't figured it out, then I am talking about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Both tech billionaires work on different platforms, and they both have different goals. But whenever their path crosses, we see a glimpse of hate. It's to that point that none of them want to leave any chance to insult the other. But they are billionaires. They can't just go around and talk trash about the other. So, what they do instead, they point out the flaws in the idea of the other. And trust me, this strategy works pretty well. Take the latest TED incident, for example. Don't you know what happened in that? Well, let me tell you. Elon Musk was asked about his recent offer to buy Twitter during an interview at the TED conference in Vancouver, British Columbia. I mean, you've got Mark Zuckerberg owning Facebook insofar as media ownership goes. Musk answered when the interview Chris Anderson asked if his standing as the world's richest man and one of the platform's top influences could represent a conflict of interest. Musk's statement could be referring to a lengthy line of Zuckerberg descendants in the future. Facebook work in a way that even after hundreds of years, there would still be a Zuckerberg who would be running it. Same as King Louis. For those of you who aren't that much into history and don't know about King Louis XIV, then let me tell you, King Louis XIV of France reigned for more than 72 years and is known as the world's longest reigning king. And that was enough of a history lesson for today. Now, you can show off your knowledge in front of your friends. Thank me later. Coming back to the topic. By making this statement, Musk was just pointing out that Zuckerberg holds absolute power over Facebook, and there is no individual on Facebook that can do anything with it. Now, you must be wondering why that is. When Steve Jobs can get fired from Apple, then why not Mark Zuckerberg? Well, good question, and lucky for you, I have an answer. It is because Zuckerberg owns 55% of the company's voting stock. He effectively has veto power over other owners when it comes to the company's destiny. The company's dual-class stock structure gives Zuckerberg select executive management and directors super voting power, with one of their shares equaling 10 votes, while other shareholders only have 1 vote per share. Sounds unfair, right? But it is how Mark Zuckerberg made sure that there would be no one who could overthrow his reign. Pretty effective, I would say. The only way to defeat him while you are at Facebook is if he decides to get beaten. He is like an overpowered anime villain that no one can defeat. And he loses only when he chooses to do so. But let's get back to the topic. Now, many of you would be saying that Musk is buying Twitter and taking it private, and it is almost the same thing. And what is there to stop Musk from doing the same with Twitter that Mark has done with Facebook? Well, you are right. There isn't much stopping him except his word. He doesn't want to rule over it. He just wants to use it to provide freedom of speech. Again, like an anime hero who would use his powers for good. I think that there are enough anime references for today. I will try not to use more. Elon Musk would set up the corporation in such a way that there would be no appearance of a conflict of interest, including making the platform's code public. Now, many of you might be wondering how this all started. How does it get so worse? Well, it didn't start yesterday. It started a long time back. In 2016, a Facebook satellite was destroyed by a SpaceX rocket explosion. During a static fire test at SpaceX's launch pad in Cape Canaveral, Florida, a Falcon 9 rocket and its $200 million telecommunications satellite payload exploded. The explosion was massive, and multiple witnesses have been tweeting photos and video of massive plumes of smoke pouring from the region. The satellite was supposed to be part of Facebook's Internet.org initiative, which aims to bring internet access to the developing globe, and it would have been the company's first satellite in orbit. But things didn't work out. Zuckerberg expressed his disappointment with the launch failure on Facebook, saying that he was very disappointed to see that SpaceX's launch failure lost their satellite, which would have offered the internet to countless businesses and others throughout the continent. But contrary to Zuckerberg's description, do you know? In October 2015, the satellite did not belong to Facebook. It's a long story and I don't want to get into it as it would be a different video altogether. But if you want to know about the satellite, do let me know in the comments. I might just make a video on that if you guys are interested. The only thing for now you need to know, or you are free to speculate, is that Zuckerberg played the victim card. At that time, Musk didn't say anything, but he was not going to be quiet forever. Musk addressed the unsuccessful launch in a tweet to reporter Carrie Flynn 2 years after the rocket explosion. "Yeah, my fault for being an idiot, but we did give them a free launch to make up for it, and I think they had some insurance," he said. Since then, they've been feuding about practically everything. They have different views on everything. Take AI, for example. During a Facebook Live broadcast, a viewer asked Zuckerberg about Musk's concerns about artificial intelligence. "I'm pretty positive," Zuckerberg said about AI, "and I think that folks who are doubters and try to conjure up these apocalyptic scenarios, I don't understand. It's quite nasty, and in some ways I believe it's downright reckless. Basically, he thinks that AI will make our life better, which again, he is not wrong. But Musk retaliated on Twitter, saying that emerging AI technology should be regulated and approached with prudence. In reaction to a tweet criticizing Zuckerberg's remarks, he stated that his knowledge of the matter is limited. Zuckerberg believes that technology will make cars safer and allow doctors to identify ailments more accurately. It is, according to Musk, humanity's greatest existential threat. Now, for this one, I have sided with Musk. Haven't we learned anything from Terminator? AI is great, and it will make our lives far easier, but if it is not monitored, it can turn into something pretty nasty. From the rate we are causing harm to the environment, AI could easily come to the conclusion that humans are the problem. And if that AI is made to protect the Earth, then its first instinct would be to wipe out humans. Age of Ultron all over again, my people. So yes, they are two people who just hate each other. And trust me, it is only about to get worse. With Musk buying Twitter, it is about to get to another level. Zuckerberg wanted to control every social media platform, and the only one that he did have was Twitter. And now that Elon Musk has bought it, there is no chance that he will ever get it. But there is a slight chance, as Elon Musk has put the deal on hold due to bot accounts. There is a chance that Elon will walk off from this deal. If that happens, then Zuckerberg could buy it, but it is a long shot and a lot of speculation. This was all for today. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments. I will see you at the next one. Until then, bye-bye.